Hi, everybody.
How's it going?
I'm Sony,
Drew, Andrew, Don.
and we are Thompson Talk, where we
Pull up to red lights and beat people with pool noodles.
poodles,
Poodles.
poodles.
Oodles and poodles.
That could start something. This day and age, that's just
I
dangerous.
keep that thing
You're
on me.
just asking for it.
Mm.
You're just asking for it. So it is Thompson Thursday. Another Thompson Thursday for you guys. Today's episode is brought to you by the letter P for
Puss pride.
Puss Pride.
Kinda. Scissor me timbers.
So yeah, it is June. All month. All month.
Be,
The gays get a month.
be proud. Be proud of who you are, and be proud that you are accepted for loving who you love. You
Some people accept, some people don't, but it's like it's the self-love, right?
you were
It's
kind of
it's
concerned about doing one about on this topic because you didn't know if you would make it too goofy or too silly, and
and here I am already.
yeah, and I'm the straight one, and I pointed out to you. I say this to people when I have conversations about sexuality. You were gay before it was cool or before it was accepted. You know what I mean? You have how long have you known that you were a
Since
lesbian?
I was in second grade, really. Second grade, yeah,
Yeah.
just a few years.
So how was that growing up? Was that tough? Like as far as I know, the adults probably obviously it was slim to none. The adults accepted you. I
Yeah,
know.
interestingly, because I was raised in a very small town, Moorhead, Minnesota, which borders Fargo, North Dakota.
Okay.
So Moore had 30,000 people. Fargo had 70. It was like 100,000 people. That's small. So growing up in a relatively rural community, a lot of farmers, being different or not quote unquote looked at as normal was hard.
Yeah.
I don't even think that I really thought too much about my sexuality until I think middle school, when somebody called me a dyke, and I was like, "No, I'm not." And I said that, "No, I'm not." I was,
Yeah.
but I said, "No, I'm not," because of the way that they said it. I knew that it was a negative. I knew that there was judgment, and it was just I didn't want to be whatever it was that they said that
Yeah.
was. And then in high school, I remember having to go to the office to get cleaner because somebody had written in permanent marker Leslie Dyke on my locker. So, it's like stuff like that where that people aren't necessarily, you know,
Yeah.
don't like it or negative. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um. But on the flip side of that, growing up being gay and into girls, um, I'm sure you found out that you weren't alone. There was the people that were outwardly against you, writing Leslie Dyke on your locker, but obviously you had girlfriends and people that would come over. And I know Graham's is
A group of friends. Grams was really, yeah, my mom was super, super supportive. Even my grandma. So my mom told my grandma that I was bisexual when I was upset with her that she said that I was bisexual because I identify as a lesbian, and B, that she told her period because it was my
yeah,
choice to be able to disclose that. But what my grandma said was that she goes, on Sally Jesse Raphael, they say that that's okay. So it was like on a talk show, she heard that,
hey,
women liking women or men liking men. And
both ways
it's
is all
like totally,
right. Yeah,
yeah. My dad was not. My dad's philosophy was that it was okay for dogs of the same gender. That was hard,
Yeah.
to have a father who wasn't, supportive. It wasn't until I moved to Louisville that I discovered there's actual bars designated just to women. There are lesbian bars. There are,
So
gay
moving
men
out of
bars.
the small Moorhead and coming to Louisville, which is still not a big city like Chicago or New York, but especially in recent years, growing and has amassed a giant LGBTQ plus community.
Yeah,
Um,
it's a lot of diversity in Louisville.
mhm.
Yeah,
And that, I can remember that ever since I was little, going to softball games down by the river, and going to the infield on Oaks Day, and there's just a clergy of lesbians and gay people.
yeah. The Phillies running for the lilies, and all the ladies there to support them.
Yep. And so, that's always been, we've said it before in the episode about religion. I didn't really get into religion because I knew that you were gay, and in the Bible it says that that's a sin, and I refused to believe that you were going to go to hell because of who you chose to love. Yeah,
You still haven't said what you think I'm going to hell for, but that's another
yeah, that's
episode.
because you laugh at the things that I send you. That's why you're
Yeah,
going to hell.
you're going to hell first, and then I'll fall.
Yeah, I'm in the driver's seat. You got shotgun. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I remember all of that growing up, and you get to know those people and you get to know those circles, and still to this day I really feel like back in the day the community was so small that if you didn't know somebody directly, then you knew somebody that knew them. You know what I
Is it how
mean?
many degrees of separation? Yeah.
If I go to a 40-ish year old lesbian and say Sony Thompson, even if they don't know you personally, they've heard of you. Period.
I don't know if that's well, I also was an entertainer. I was a singer, so I was on stage, so that there was that too.
Yeah, on stage. I'm just kidding.
So Andrew also, when we were talking about this, talking about pride, and Andrew was kind of reminiscing, this is how he was raised. He had all these different moms, and I'm
I
like, oh
did.
my.
I did. I didn't have a dad growing up. I had.
And real successful in my relationships. But you gotta give a girl props for trying over and over and over.
Sarah was the longest.
Sarah was the longest. It's because she put up with our inappropriateness.
I remember having to walk out of the room when the L word came on. I don't remember what day of the week it was, but that was always my cue. You'd be like, nope, go to bed. Go to bed.
Yeah, mama time. Go girls.
And I remember one time I woke up, I woke up before it was over. I like just went to sleep and woke up, and I was like, why is she watching an all female wrestling show? I'm not allowed to watch.
Stop. It was not. He's joking. So yes, I mean, Andrew was raised in the community,
Yeah.
and, in the Pride community. We all the time would go to, June was the time where in Louisville they had the Pride festivals, and so I'd pack up even when Andrew was a baby, breastfeeding baby, I had him, with a little half tent or whatever in the blanket, and yeah, like that was kind of like how Andrew was raised. It was in celebration of being able to love who you love. And I know that I've said to Andrew throughout his life, when we were talking about sexuality, it's like you love who you love. Do you know what I mean? It's like I
Mhm.
don't have any aspirations for Andrew with his vocation, with his what I want from him is for him to be happy, and that'll like fill my heart. You know what I mean? If he's being true to himself, if he's happy, that is, it's like a gift.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Yep. And I kind of grew up with no prejudice because of that. It was always you are who you are, and that's okay. Um, I can remember just like you had talked about when you were in middle school and somebody called you a dyke. I would get so mad when people would talk talk poorly about gay people. Um, because
You'd be sticking up for
that
me.
was my family. Not just you, but like the whole community. Um, and it also kind of throws me in like a weird spot because I frequently have used the phrase "that's gay." You know what I mean? And you had an issue with it for a while, right? You were like, why do you say that? Why are you saying that's
You
gay?
always say that's so gay in the good way.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's the bad way? They're all good. You're either happy or
No, I would
you
say
like.
not in a good way. I'm like, that's so gay, not the good kind though, not the good gay, not the it's like the bad gay, like math. I'm like, moral of the
Thompson
story,
Talk
yeah, moral of the
Thursday. Be true. Be unapologetically, authentically yourself. Love who you love. Find a spot within inside yourself where you're proud to be, however you are. You
this
know,
month.
however you are.
This month is for you if you live what used to be considered an alternative lifestyle. We're letting you know it's not. It's not an alternative lifestyle. It's just who you are, and really encourage you to embrace that and celebrate it because it hasn't always been okay.
Yeah.
And so,
Progress.
yeah, take a
Gains.
shot and put some respect and maybe not just celebrate by waving a flag and getting drunk in a field, but also take some time and reflect on people who have been brutalized or attacked because of who they chose to love. And just take a minute and kind of reflect on that. The OGs in the game, the G's for gay, the old gays.
Okay.
All right.
If anybody has any comments or about Pride Month, any stories they'd like to share, or have any comments about future episodes, things that you'd like us to talk about, please send us an email to thompsontalkpodcast@gmail.com.
Or you can hop on YouTube, type in Thompson Talk. You're going to see her face. You're going to see mine. Click on it. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe on your favorite video. Share with your friends after you hit the subscribe button. It's free, by the way. Make sure you hit the post notification bell so you never miss an upload and you never miss a Thompson Thursday.
That's it, peoples.
Be
Did I
proud.
say that like
Be
peoples?
be proud. Take a shot for me.
Bye, y'all.